Hollywood is continuing to crumble, and just when you think these stories can't get worse, they do. R. Kelly is making headlines for all the wrong reasons because his daughter has come forward and acknowledged his victims. She's also revealing that she herself is a victim of her own father as well. It doesn't get sicker than that, people, but I want to start off by talking about Kanye West. I recently made a video about Niykee Heaton. Now, once upon a time, she was an active singer, but she has left the industry, and partly due to how Kanye West and Diddy treated her. If you guys want details on that brutal attack, definitely go and check out my video covering it, but I've got a pretty heavy story here. So we've actually spoken about this assistant before who has sued Kanye for inappropriate behavior. Her name is Laura Piscata, and she filed this harassment lawsuit against Kanye, making allegations that Kanye wanted to sleep with his wife's mom, so Bianca's mother. Another headline reads that Kanye is accused of drugging and R-wording a former assistant at a Diddy party. Now, what's fascinating about Laura is that I think there's a connection between her and Niykee Heaton, which is part of the reason why I brought up that story. Now, this is not confirmed, but if you start to put together some of these stories, the dots align, and there's a big arrow at the end pointing at Diddy and Kanye West. Now, if you remember hearing Nicki's story, she claims that her manager took her to the studio that night because Kanye and Diddy was requesting her presence. Now, could this manager be Laura, the person who's now suing Kanye?
So we all know Lauren Piscata, right? She's filing a lawsuit against Kanye West. Lauren Piscata is the one that discovered Niykee Heaton and is her former manager. So one night, Lauren was told to meet Kanye West at a studio in LA and to bring Niykee to record some tracks.
Now, Niykee Heaton did not reveal her manager's name at the time in that video, though I would love to interview Niykee. I've reached out to her on Instagram. This article reads that Kanye is facing shocking allegations from the woman who filed a harassment lawsuit against him. Laura stated that she worked as a model on the platform OF, but then Kanye wanted her to be godlike and promised to pay her $1 million a year to get off of the website. After taking the rapper up on his proposal and deleting her account, Kanye became rather aggressive, sending inappropriate messages, having inappropriate phone conversations, having some fixation on Laura's past intimate partners and what their wieners look like. Constantly worried about size, which is telling. I guess Laura has updated her complaint. I don't know why this allegation wasn't included in her first filing, but she alleges that Kanye boasted to Laura about an intimate conversation between him and Bianca, where he proclaimed that he wanted to have intimacy with her mother, who was visiting LA at the time from Australia. Kanye then proudly sent Laura a screenshot of the text conversation he was having with Bianca about effing his mom, again writing, "I want to F your mom." Which is so weird. Like, how do you think Bianca feels seeing that? He also sent Laura this message saying, "Just took the toxicities up a level," which I think is him alluding to the problems he's having with Bianca. Granted, this was a while back. He's been having a lot of issues for a while in his marriage, and I think it's very toxic from the jump, and he kind of loves it, which is part of the reason why he wants to F her mom, why he wants to cause her stress, tell her what to wear, what to eat, when to speak. And when he's telling her what to wear, he's not giving her much. I don't know if you see her on about. I don't know how she's not arrested for public nudity. Kanye went on to share another message where he added, "Should I add, I meant I want you to watch me F your mom." So not only, do the act, but have Bianca involved. Kanye concluded his conversation with Laura, where he proudly shared that Bianca, who was not his wife at this time, was rather an employee that he constantly hooked up with. He proudly showed off these text messages Bianca sent to him, saying, this is what she wrote. Bianca wrote that Bianca's mother is married and that I'm going to F someone this weekend and I'll tell you next time. You're inside of me. So it looks like she talked about hooking up with someone else and then maybe describing it to him later on, which is really weird, kinky. Despite receiving those disturbing text messages, she goes on to allege that Kanye's dangerous, saying he's manipulative, dangerous, premeditative, sadistic, and he's explosive. She also claims that he uses his brands to go and commit heinous things to fulfill his desires, which sounds a lot like Diddy. If you look at these lawsuits that are being filed, you'll see that they're also suing Diddy's company because his enterprises, his employees also enabled these crimes, which is kind of probably what's happening with allegedly Yeezy and his employees. We've talked about how dangerous Kanye is before in a podcast episode, and we've interviewed someone who has some intel on it as well, so definitely go and check those out. Laura says that she and a former artist management client, Niykee Heaton, were invited by Kanye to a session he co-hosted with Diddy in a studio. Drinks were served, and I guess it was announced that everyone had to drink if they wanted to stay, which is so weird. Like, who's going to pressure other adults to drink or use drugs? We're so much more grown than that. Laura claims that she drank, but after a few sips of the beverage, she started to feel disoriented, claiming she woke up the next day remembering almost nothing of what took place, and she felt immense shame and embarrassment, probably because Niykee Heaton was attacked in that moment and she was the one who brought the bait. Laura claims that years later, while working with Kanye, that he brought up that night in question, saying they did hook up, and proceeded to provide further details about the incident. Before Kanye provided those details, Laura says that she thought she simply got roofied and embarrassed herself at a work function. She did not know it ended with her hooking up with her boss.
So when Niykee and Lauren showed up to the studio, they did not know that Diddy was going to be present. They thought it was just going to be Kanye. And boy, were they f***ed up. Diddy and Kanye gave Lauren and Niykee some drinks, and everybody started to have a little good time. Well, Niykee took a sip of her drink and realized that shit didn't taste right, and she looked across the room at Lauren, but Lauren wasn't paying attention. And before she knew it, Lauren had took 2 sips, and her face had become flushed. All the while, Kanye and Diddy were both looking at them like, yeah, party time. So like the good friend she is, Niykee tried to text Lauren from across the room. But before she could even type anything, Kanye took her phone out the hand and said, "Who you texting?" After 20 minutes, Niykee came from out of hiding and she was looking for Lauren. She found Lauren and found Kanye on top of her. And after that, her and Lauren got into an Uber and left. And Lauren didn't remember shit.
Now, I did find one headline that I just want to read to you guys to give you some context. Reminder, Niykee Heaton waited 10 years and just hours after her former business partner, close pal Laura, refiled a $4 million wrongful dismissal claim against Kanye to accuse Kanye of attacking her. Now, this may be some type of tactic, I guess, to build credence to Laura's claims and to give it clout, but I don't doubt these women at all. I completely believe this happened. I mean, these girls have been friends since way back in the Tumblr days. One person tweeted Kanye West's response to Lauren Piscata's claims of harassment included a joke about her stealing Jay Leno's chin. I always thought of Lauren as the girl who managed Niykee Heaton. Had no clue she worked with Kanye. I'm crying though, this is wild. Now we do have a response from Kanye, and then we're moving into R. Kelly, so stay tuned for that. But this is a big response, so let's go ahead and break it down. In response to the baseless allegations, Kanye will be filing a lawsuit against Laura, who actively pursued him intimately to coerce employment and other material benefits, then engaging in blackmail and extortion when her advances were rejected. Prior to her termination as assistant, Laura stole his cell phone in an attempt to destroy phone records that would contradict her claims, all have which been preserved. She was terminated for being unqualified, demanding unreasonable sums of money, and numerous documented incidents of her lascivious and unhinged conduct. During her employment, Laura offered Kanye intimacy on his birthday, to which he declined. She sent Kanye unsolicited intimate images and was seen twerking in the office during business hours. Which honestly, that seems like something that probably typically happens in a Kanye West office. On one occasion, Laura boasted about the best moment of her life when she was being ejaculated on by a soccer player while texting her boss. It is well documented how Laura consistently used coercion in her attempt to demand not only money but material items like Birkin bags, Lamborghinis, and endless quests for plastic surgery. It is evident that Laura has leveraged her association with Kanye and his company and her proximity to him to seek material gains, clout, and employment through inappropriate means. Kanye isn't the only celebrity that's been targeted by Laura. Jay Leno is suing her for stealing his chin. Now, I don't know what kind of lawyer wrote this up, but they get the shady Sloan Award. Like, they win as far as the shadiest response, and to the point. And honestly, if they do have their evidence, then I would like to see it in court. Now, somebody who needs to see their day in court again is R. Kelly, especially after what his daughter has revealed. In a heartbreaking admission, R. Kelly's daughter, Buku Abi, reveals she's a victim of SA at the hands of her own father. Now, a documentary titled Karma, A Daughter's Journey, which is premiering on TVEI streaming network. I haven't heard of that one. Buku goes on to reveal this incident that occurred when she was just 10 years old, first reported to her mother, Andrea Kelly, in 2009. Buku, who was born Joanne Kelly, chose not to go into specifics about the alleged harm she experienced, saying he was my everything when speaking about her father. For a long time, I didn't want to believe it happened. I didn't know that it even made him a bad person. I was too scared to tell anybody. I was too scared to tell my mom. Let's take a look at this trailer together.
So R. Kelly's daughter, Buku Abi, whose real name is Joanne Kelly, she spoke out in support of her father's accusers in a lengthy Instagram post. So she claims to be devastated.
And today R. Kelly was sentenced to prison for his many crimes against underage girls.
Nobody wants to be the
True. I wonder like how Diddy's kids feel. I mean, seeing how his son was behaving at the club recently, seems like he can care less.
child of the father that is out here hurting women and children.
What he did to me, he did to me. But you didn't have to do it to my damn kids.
Buku added, I really feel like that 1 millisecond completely changed my whole life and changed who I was as a person and changed the sparkle I had in the light I used to carry. And even up until now, I struggle with it a lot.
He was my everything. For a long time, I didn't even want to believe that it happened. I didn't know that even if he was a bad person, that he would do something to me. I really feel like that 1 millisecond completely just changed my whole life.
Oh,
I
that's
would not
so
be taking
sad
my son
and
to
so
a
scary.
prison to meet his grandfather.
Now you might be asking, what does R. Kelly think about this? Well, he's denying everything. His lawyer made a response saying that R. Kelly denies these allegations. His ex-wife made the same allegations years ago, and it was investigated by the Illinois Department of Children and Family Services and was unfounded. Well, 2009 actually is when these claims were first initially made. So, I mean, I don't think it just goes away. R. Kelly is currently serving prison due to his conviction on multiple charges related to this behavior. Buku said that she believes prison is a well-suited place for her father, her disgraced father. I'm going to go ahead and send some prayers to everyone involved in a lot of these dramas. It sounds really heavy, really sick, and really sad, especially hearing some of these disturbing stories. It can be really hard. So, you guys take care of yourselves, and thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in a new video soon. If you want to, check me out on Instagram at SloanHooks, and on TikTok, I've been posting more, putting more work into that. So I'd love to see you guys over there, and I'll see you in a new video soon. Bye, guys.